So cool. You're obviously running for something. What are you running for?
I'm running for the Winter Springs City Commission. Affordability is not just your property tax. Affordability is also your principal and interest, which is what animates everybody when you're having the conversation of somebody buying a house. But the principal and interest is minimal compared to the taxes, the insurance, the maintenance, and especially the insurance. Obviously, right now, while we're recording this, a Category 1 hurricane is hitting the Big Bend of Florida. So what happens is that as the storms get more and more frequent and violent, you're going to have situations where the infrastructure, you either fix it up front and get it operating for the future and for the storm that will come, versus a reactive, hey, let's fix it after it's done. What happens is this, and this has happened to many municipalities throughout the country. During the COVID era, a lot of money was sloshing around, the state and local governments. So what happens is a lot of that money that hasn't even been spent yet, in many cases, is still out there. So cities were able to get by because they had all this other free money coming in that was above and beyond, the property taxes and what have you that comes in. Then you had situations where, for example, when we had some storms a couple of years ago here, it washed out roads, it washed out bridges. Well, then FEMA money and federal money came in. So again, that was able to patch things up. The county was involved, the state was involved, the federal government was involved. So money started coming in. Yet we still have bridges that have not been properly fixed and repaired to where they need to be, again, for the storm that's going to come, not the one that already came. See, and that's the challenge that we have, because as we start looking at other issues in Central Florida. So, for example, right now in Florida, there's a ballot initiative to increase the homestead exemption again. Or I'm sorry, to just increase in addition to the current homestead exemption, so that will inevitably, challenge revenues on the way in. There is a 1 cent sales tax for infrastructure that that was passed at the county level, and it has been reset several times, but it's coming up for resetting again. If that were to fail, that's now another source of revenue that is missing. The reason the city's not sweating it is because there's still a good year and a half of penny sales tax money, as it's called, that still has been allocated but not spent, meaning the city could potentially kick the can down the road again. So you see how the fiscal issues kind of all come together. It's a numbers issue to solve these problems. Well, what ends up happening is, what happens 18 months from now or 2 years from now when that revenue is not there?
Again, I appreciate everything that we talked about today. If you're voting and you're in Winter Springs, I hope this interview has helped you make a very good decision on who you're going to elect into office. At the end of the day, it's important for all of us to make decisions based on who we think is the best candidate. Thank you guys for tuning in. And sir, it was awesome having you on. I really appreciate you joining us today.
Appreciate you having me. And I'm looking forward to getting things done here in Winter Springs. And with new leadership, it's going to get done.